I had a feeling that this was coming. We hadn't seen Oldhim on the other side of the board, and whoever got matched up against Josh was surely playing Bolton, or surely playing Oldhim.
Yep. So Josh is definitely prepared for this match. I mean, he's just played it so many times, and the way that one of his favorite things to do anytime you play against a hero that has agency during
I will
your
say
turn.
this, but let me cut you off real
Yep.
quick.
Yep.
There's not a huge delay on the stream, so if you have
Oh, yeah.
tactics
Yep.
that he uses, I would be just a little cautious with saying them,
Yeah.
as they could message him.
Yeah, nothing that's gonna
Okay.
nothing that's gonna be like giving away anything. But he kind of likes to like test his opponent and kind of see their tendencies and what things he can get away with and what he can't, and then play accordingly.
Yep.
And so basically like set up a situation where somebody would ice react, and then if he doesn't, he goes, okay, well maybe, okay, sure, and then kind of so forth and so forth. So nothing that you can really exploit, fortunately for Josh, but that's just something to keep in mind, because if you notice tendencies, like say you play against an Oldhim and he's like ice reacting like every turn, then you can definitely exploit that, and it really works for any hero that has agency on your turn. It's a very good thing to utilize for sure.
Absolutely. Players just sideboarding up here. There's quite a bit of sideboarding that needs to be done for this matchup, I'm sure.
He shook the deck to shuffle it, so he's trying to assert his dominance now.
Yep, we've officially determined, ever since Brandon Abarca did it, that's how you assert dominance over. We're not gonna hover over and hit R. We're just gonna grab this son of a gun, and we're just gonna shake the crap out of it.
If I'm not mistaken, everybody so far that has shook the deck to shuffle has actually lost their match. Am I wrong?
Well,
except for Nathan.
Yeah, I shuffled mine.
Oh, you did it. Okay.
Well, I shuffled mine normally, but then while Chris was thinking, I said, you know what? Dominance. And I picked it up and shook it real good. So,
You salty dog.
yeah. Just some friendly banter. I'm just waiting for the day that Josh flips over Talishar Dorinthea.
Talishar Dorinthea.
I couldn't think of anything that makes less sense than that combination. But if anybody can figure it out, it is this man.
It'd be Josh, right? Somebody asking in chat who is on the experience team. If you guys didn't know, it's actually players from the area Chris Ayali is from. It's like Tyler Horspool, Chris Ayali, Adam Fiffles, Andrew Rudin, Brandon Abarca, Anthony Pham, and I'm sorry if I'm missing any more names. Those are the ones that come to the top of my head. Yep. But yeah, it's a very good squad.
Some real talent. Talent.
Las Vegas first place winner Chris Ayali, if people don't know, and been living under a rock since the last tournament. He got second at Worlds. So very, very accomplished group of players for sure.
And it does look like we got a little bit more people, look like almost 60. So just to get everybody caught up, currently the series is 2-2. This is our last game, so this is winner takes all.
Yeah,
PK shootout.
Yeah.
And this is also like we're in single eliminations. We're in the playoffs, the top 16, whatever you wanna call it. So whoever wins this game
will go on.
The team they represent will go on to play Team Blue Pitch, which is on our side of the bracket, and then the winner of that, of course, will continue on as well.
Shout out to Fab Rec in the chat.
It is SoCal. It is SoCal, not NorCal. SoCal is where they're from. Yeah.
So what's the Oldhim player's name?
That's a good question. Let me pull it back up. I'm bad
Amina.
at names. Andrew Rudin.
Oh, this is Andrew Rudin. Okay.
Yeah.
Prism
Alright.
player turned Oldhim player.
Mm-hmm.
That
Right.
makes no sense, but let's roll with it.
Yep.
All
I
right.
would never. That goes in against my base illusionist instincts. Guardian? Ugh.
Imagine playing 100 matches where the opponent never stood a chance, and you're like, after your hero LLs, you're like, yeah, I want to play that. How about no? Okay, so first things first, Rampart, always correct on the Oldhim side. It's just, that block value, make sure you maximize the resources on Crown of Seeds, because we've got no rune chance flying out of Dorinthea, at least so far. And everything's standard for Josh's end. Nothing exciting yet.
Yeah, I think if the Oldhim player is actually going first here, he's probably going to be very incentivized to just attack to get some cards out of Josh's deck. But doesn't look like he wants to.
Does make a ton of sense. Is Josh running an even 60, do we know?
Josh is not. Josh is running 73 cards.
Yes,
That
and
sounds about right.
the Oldhim player is running 68. So straight off the rip, the Oldhim player's got to be on fatigue.
Pitching a Channel Lake very early.
Interesting.
Must not have another ice card in his hand, or he
He
probably
might
just
be
go
trying
ahead.
to set up for that late game disruption. That
Yeah,
shows up
could
at an
be.
opportune moment when Josh is trying to go off.
Yep, definitely could be. Josh giving a whole card for that one life. Is that something we're gonna see here, or do you think that was more of a filter?
So the way Dorinthea wins this game, right? Because obviously, if you keep swinging Warrior's Vow or Dawnblade every single turn, you will not get any damage through against Oldhim if they have any decent number of D reacts.
Right.
The way Josh wins this game is setting up E-Pots and going for 2 or 3 big turns that really allow to push through a lot of damage. You can't play hand to hand, so what you're going to see is basically Josh is going to use his life as a resource and play that accordingly. Yep. So we got Iron Song Response. Always good to. That's one of those key cards in this matchup, especially because you are expecting him to block a decent amount. So it's basically always active and never a dead card, which is the risk you run when you run it.
Iron Song for a sync. We like that exchange, right? That's not so bad.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine.
Yeah, once again, he's strictly just trying to get to the setup cards. Nothing else is relevant. You will not see him. Yep, he's just ditching the Iron Song Pride. He's literally just getting it out of his deck. It doesn't do anything. He is just trying to get to the cards that matter, pitch them together, and blow Oldhim out in 1 or 2 turns. And you're gonna see Oldhim just try to look for a threat here. I'm assuming is why you would crown on your own turn.
Also, is protection from a key defense reaction.
Oh yeah, Stillblade Shunt is a
Great point.
card.
No ice on the salmon.
Okay, Josh is hovering over that life counter. We might see some action here.
What was the other card that the Oldhim pitched? I didn't actually see.
It was a blue Autumn's Touch.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Good up
Once
the
again-
glistening. The glistening is not the most amazing card in this matchup, I don't think.
It's probably one of the worst because it's never going to hit. If you spend an entire card on Go Again against a deck that's actively trying to block you, you're not going to have enough to get over.
Kyle, if you could promote Josh.
That's already been done.
Okay,
That's
never mind.
old. Yep.
It just popped up for me. So this is gonna kind of be the trend for now, until Josh finds the cards that he likes, or until Andrew finds the cards that he really likes. Just kind of the attack for 3, try to get over, probably get defense reacted, move on with our life.
Okay, that is one of those high value cards, but good thing he has 3 of them. So one thing we got to keep in mind is how many twinning blades does he have, and then how many singing steel blades. Are the very, very important cards.
I feel like we've casted this match before, Nathan.
We have several times. Several times.
What do you think we're grabbing here?
If he has a 3 pump in his hand,
Then some sort of go again.
yeah. So like one move that I wouldn't mind is like getting a run through and basically making him burn a D-react on 1 damage over.
Fortunately, he doesn't have to with the Crown of Seeds.
Yep. So this is the same play, just drawing a card.
Yep.
And then what I would love to see here is basically Josh set up a situation where if he does burn the D-react, the opponent gets punished by him playing like an E-pot from Arsenal or something. I think that would be a situation that Josh would craft. So here you have 4 against 3 in Josh's favor. And basically the Oldhim has to either crown or give a D-react or something, which will prevent the aggression on the Oldhim player's turn. And then if Josh doesn't have anything more, he can still play like an E-pot or something because the go again is guaranteed. But this works too. So now he's over by 3 again, which forces the D-react that he was already trying to get. And if he gets the D-react anyway, then that makes this play really inefficient because he is not blocked with Rampart yet.
Looks like he's thinking about ice reacting this last card.
Always super risky, but you know, it does make sense in this situation when you have none floating. So maybe in that instance, it would have been better to get Iron Song, whereas, well, no, he got the Glint, which drew the card, then he played Stroke, so no way Josh could have played around that. It just is unfortunate that Tunic Counter's not on 3.
Right.
But now I gets to crack back with 5 cards without blocking a single card, which is good.
Tunic up for our Oldhim player, though, so he has a pretty decent middle spot.
Guys, grab your popcorn. Grab your Reese Pieces. Gonna be a long one.
Yep, when both people show up with like 68 cards, nobody's in a hurry.
Especially when there's no clock.
We see a red steel blade shunt and an E-pot getting pitched here. Very curious.
Mm-hmm.
But it will be worth every minute.
Now, it's important to note that the Oldhim player had 2 cards in hand and did not hammer, which is very odd. And it almost makes me...
The 2D reacts.
Well, it makes me think that possibly the strategy he's trying to employ is never to hammer, basically, unless he can crown before. So that way he never gets dinged by a shunt, is where I would like default to.
Here he's basically just saying, give me that Tunic Counter.
But if you're not hammering, my question is, how do you win the card battle? Because every turn you're giving a card because of the base 3 on Dawnblade, but you're not going to be getting cards for your weapon value. So I would think that as far as cards go, you would lose that exchange if you never hammered. But Spinal's good. That's a good card.
Final is a good one.
I feel like Josh has been sitting on a D react at Arsenal.
Yeah, I'm fully expecting a tunic counter shunt here. It just seems like a match made in heaven.
Tuna counter and shunt go together like peas and carrots.
Peanut butter and jelly.
Guys, if you're enjoying this last match and you haven't already, click that little like button. There's 53 of you in here. We got 9 likes on the video right now. Let's get that number up. Try to get a few more people to be able to see the video so everybody else can witness this climactic match.
Oh.
What we got going on over here?
He said he don't need no go again.
I guess I'll just attack and pump.
Yep. All right. So
There's
that
one
tells
less
it
route in the deck.
See, that's the thing. Like routes, when you're playing an opponent with you know, red, blue, yellow, orange D reacts, route's not very good because you can always just replay the D react. So
A great point.
Josh is taking that into account, and he's just highly prioritizing the.
Ooh, did
the
we just block a
extreme-
naked Dawnblade? You never block a naked Dawnblade.
In this matchup, you always block a naked Dawnblade because you're
Oh,
trying not to die.
Yeah, he's trying to T.
Yeah.
All right, so Josh is just waiting for.
When Josh pulls out the
D-react.
dice to show how much his opponent's blocking, you know he's reacting more.
Yep. So if you've ever been, I mean, most people should know what Josh looks like because of the 201 videos. But if you don't, just go to the event, find the warrior player with as many dice in front of them as possible, and that, my friends, is Joshua Lau.
And if you watch the match for about 3 minutes and you hear then that's also
Yep.
Josh.
Yep. We got matched on Talishar blindly. We weren't like testing or anything, and he typed in chat, I said, this is you, Josh. I was like, get out of here. I was like,
That's great. That's great.
yeah.
Oldhim playing red staunch response. That's an unusual thing to see these days.
These days, yeah, but I guess the idea is he knew he was playing against a warrior, so he probably went and you know,
Packed
changed
a
that
few
deck
extra.
up. Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
Why not?
why not?
You're right, the red one is the lesser seen. But it does do pretty good job.
We should have put Josh on dash and just thrown everybody off.
Oh my god,
Oh,
the
that would've
world
been
would be upside
hilarious.
down. Everybody would be looking like they need a software update. He flips over dash. You get the Windows sound in the background. Da-dong. All right, solid open if he's got the blue to go with it. Oh, he doesn't. Now the question is
it bait?
this the infamous,
the infamous
the
bait?
infamous Josh Lau trademarked move? I'm not gonna say the move until after, just in case, you know, we got some listeners. But does he have the overpower and the blue in his hand?
Justin, you'll never see me play Kano in my entire existence. It could be tier 0.0. I will not play Kano. Those who know me know I have a vigorous hatred for Warrior. Or sorry, for Wizard. Even though I just played Icelander, but I also had 9 attacks in my deck.
Yeah, he doesn't mind it if it helps him win.
Yeah.
But if he plays against it, it sucks.
It does. You hit the nail on the head. It's like you know me.
That's it. Now, the one bad thing about this is it gets hard shut down by a sink blow. But, oh, he got there. That's huge.
Oh, we got some damage.
That is damage, guys. We have been here for probably
I
what,
repeat.
10, 15 minutes.
I repeat, damage has been dealt.
Each player's taking 7 out of 40, so we're getting there.
Justin, I don't hate you. I hate your hero.
It's not you, Justin. It's
Yeah.
the choices you make.
Yeah.
It's not you.
Not you. But I'm also not saying that if you didn't play another hero that we would get along better.
Right. I can't say that because I've actually never played against Justin. We've been in the same tournament about 30 times, but we've never actually played in a.
See, Justin and I have been in the same tournament about 30 times and played each other 28 of them.
Right, right.
Disable.
Oh, disable. Okay, the red one.
Oh, spicy red 9 damage.
Okay, now normally I would hate this move, right? But tunic counter's not up. Makes shunt a little weird. I can respect it. I can respect it. Good old disable to threaten that arsenal.
Are we going to drive down to Florida for some pro quests? We actually have, out of the 4 days, or actually, I guess it's technically 6 days that we have pro quests, right? We have 5 pro quests in Georgia on pretty much every one of those days, so there's no actual reason for us to go to Florida this time around.
Mm-hmm. There is a spot that me and Josh used to hit up, and that's Gulf Coast Hobby, which is like Mobile, Alabama, which is basically Florida. Just we have taxes there.
Right.
But it's right next to it. That's about as far as I've ever went for like an RTN or ProQuest.
Now, back in the day, it was a little bit more worth it to drive to some RTNs.
Back in the day.
But I mean, it feels weird saying that, honestly. Like, even though like we joke about it, it feels weird saying. I mean, it has been a little bit since those RTNs, and it doesn't feel like it.
I don't know if we have any players that played more than a year ago, but this game went through like a weird phase where we, before Monarch came out, and even after Monarch came out just a little bit, everybody just played Blitz. Like, you could not find an armory that played a classic constructed event. They probably couldn't tell you how much life you started at a CC event. And then all of a sudden, when they announced the calling and that Nationals was going to be CC format, everybody just said Blitz who? And just started playing CC. And it was such a fun, weird time because it was like right where RTN season was, and everybody was like just figuring shit out. And it was the fun.
It was like, we got to play with 60 cards now. This game is completely different. Wait, it was actually kind of overwhelming at first because like I had Ira and Dorinthea built for Blitz, and those were the only decks I had. I had not played a single match of CC ever. And we were going around and we were dominating like skirmishes with $150 spoils of war, like just crazy, ridiculously expensive cards that nobody had access to. And I don't know if you've ever played a Dorinthea mirror match where one person has spoils and the other doesn't, or Courage of Bladehold, but it's not exactly fair. And we just thought we were so good at the game back then, and then all of a sudden CC came out, and we were like, oh my gosh, we have to learn a completely different thing. We have to buy all these new cards. Like, Dorinthea's not the best deck anymore. It was so weird because nobody played CC back then.
Learning how to sideboard was a hurdle for me. Like,
right.
Oh, good. Right. A little steel blade shunt value. Love to see it. Circling back to what Nathan was saying about how everybody was playing Blitz. I'm playing with some relatively new players these days on Sundays at my locals, and we're back to Blitz with them. And it reminds me when I first started, like Blitz is just a little bit simpler, you know, it's a little bit new player friendly. So I get it, but
Yep.
it's just the kind of thing when you graduate to CC, you never want to go back.
Here's a really scary one.
There's no way it's pummel right here. When you
Naked
got
Command and Conquer.
but when you got, so he already had full tempo, so it's not
Correct,
like he took damage to do it. So
Right.
like, but when you're running, you know,
All 3 blocks?
well, not only that, but like, you know, he's probably got orange shunts, purple staunches, orange staunches, you know, all those D reacts. Like, there's no way he's got a pummel here, right? Like, there's just. I mean,
Sebastian.
Oh, he does.
Ah! You thought.
Oh.
He said, I'll just rip it.
Oh man, Josh is going to.
I gonna like that one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame Josh for that play. I would not. Ah.
Oh man,
Josh
that's
showing the pummel.
hilarious.
Josh showing the pummel.
Let's see if Andrew even looks at it. Sebastian, yeah, I remember you and Kyle both thought you were just like not gonna be able to play during that first Classic Constructed season. Y'all were struggling so much trying to figure out what to play. Then as soon as you found your home, it was over from there.
Oh my God, Seb won what? 14 RTNs?
Oh
What was
god,
it?
he won everything.
Yeah, I kept seeing him at these events, taking them down. I was like, I want to be like that guy one day.
It was a good
He-
run. My
he was
gosh.
killing it, my man.
Just turning those extended art tunics into dollar bills.
That's it.
Salary dues.
All right, this is a rough one when you blocking.
Oh, there goes the red pummel. Didn't want that one in his hand.
Did get the steel blade supremacy from Arsenal and got the block on the twinning blade. Those are important cards to note. And Josh does have the E-pot. So it's basically, so just getting back to the game and kind of, you know, get a baseline of where everybody's at. So currently Josh is trying to set up a combination of a blue, usually a supremacy from Arsenal, and like a singing steel blade. And what that allows him to do is if no matter what the Oldhim player does, if they overblock, he goes get twinning blade, goes around, and then if he doesn't overblock, then he can just go pump. So it's like one of those situations where literally no matter what the opponent does, they're just SOL. And he's just trying to build to that board state, and then we can, you know, Oldhim can easily take anywhere between, I don't know, 10 to 20 damage in that one turn, and then you kind of grind it out from there. Is kind of what Josh is probably planning on doing.
We're pretty even on cards right now. Or hopefully higher for Josh.
They're about even. And like I said, that's got a lot to do with the fact that, you know, the Oldhim player wasn't really hammering, and, you know, it allowed Josh to just keep getting cards for Dawnblade swings.
Zach, yes, this is a tough match for Dory.
I'm going to use that hand shuffle more. We talked about it earlier because we saw, I think it was against Nathan, you could tell exactly what card got put on.
Yeah, if you're ever revealing cards and they're going back to your hand, you always need to shuffle afterwards.
Right. Nothing says I have a D-react more than an even block on a Dawnblade. So probably going to see a sink blow of some sort here.
or just the actual
Love
sync
that.
blow itself.
Yeah. 'Cause why not?
Josh gonna need a little bit of help to win this one.
All part of the plan.
Yep.
It's all part of the plan.
Been here
Josh-
before. Know where we're going.
Yeah, Josh knows exactly what he needs to do to win. It's just sometimes the disruption can line up when you get the cards that you're looking for, and that can like hard punish. But if that does not happen, Josh has played this matchup enough to where he can basically just set it up and knock it down. And see, this is like not scary at all because you just block bracers and
Tell me we got a shot, baby.
in one card. Or yeah, even a tunic shunt here is so good. Don't even have to give up the armor.
Another good thing
Oh.
about this is it's very subtle, but the actual
blue shunt, yeah. Let's go.
the actual like
Ooh
playing
la
a Terrace
la.
Thunder out there is -1 card in the deck for Oldhim, and then
Yep.
And
also
he
he
doesn't
doesn't
get an
have an
Ooh
arsenal.
la la.
Yep. So really big momentum for Josh there. Even though he's down on life, I think that play kind of edged it toward him a little bit. He's just got to have something decent here to make the Oldhim basically decide on whether he wants to swing hammer or have an arsenal. Because you're probably not getting all 4 cards here on a 4-card hand with Dory, but you can easily get 3.
Yes. And if you're not getting 3, you're getting some life.
That's a fact.
The Dory play that you don't love to make, but hey, it's go again at the end of the day.
Well, the scary thing here is it's guaranteed go again, and like guaranteed go again is so scary because he could follow up with a CNC, he could follow up with a
Inertia.
pursuit of knowledge. I mean, he could follow up with an EPOT.
Or
I
an
mean,
EPOT.
he could do whatever he wants, right? And like the block doesn't, and like luckily there, Oldhim had the D-React in hand more than likely to be able to not respect it. But if he didn't overblock there and didn't have the D, or if he overblocked and did not have the D-React, then Josh basically got a card for free. Is the way that
We're
would
seeing
work out.
him pitch another Channel Lake Fridge to the bottom. I do believe that this Oldhim is firmly trying to have very good disruption late game. I think he wants those Channel Lake Fridges to come in when Josh is actually trying to break these E-Pods. This is very good heads-up play from the Oldhim.
This
Right.
looks like a pummel.
There is a tunic counter, so if it's a card that he can't afford to lose, there's a very good chance that it just gets crowned away here.
Yep, you'll see several times throughout this game on key turns where Josh will go click on his graveyard and do the count. He's just counting his important cards, trying to figure out where in the deck some of the things that he pitched are, and figuring out the route to victory, pun intended.
But it does look like the Oldham's on 3 red pummel, and he played one. He pitched one not too long ago, so
Yes, but he has gone through, let's see, he's got 44 cards left. He should have gone through 2/3 of his deck at least by now.
maybe. So it's possible.
I would actually say maybe more than 2/3. So it's very, very possible this is a pummel. Pursuit of knowledge. Spicy follow-up to a go again Dawnblade.
It's back.
Alright. This is where Josh is like, am I getting pummeled? And the answer is yes.
Oh, it's a blue one. Okay. So not actually that bad here. He just loses a card. No big deal.
Lose 4 life and a card.
I do wonder if so the Oldhim player is kind of expending cards at a higher rate than normally when they're trying to fatigue.
Yes.
I wonder if there's a point where Josh is like, okay, I'm gonna stop using my life as a resource and kind of try to grind this one out.
It's an option that he has to him if his opponent starts getting too bananas with his expenditure.
I did discard a shunt there.
Yep. Oh, so
Gosh.
good.
Gaining a life,
Alright.
though. Very nice.
Look at that. You ever pitched a card and got 4 value out of it?
So
Yes,
good.
actually.
Sorry, I'm ruined. I'm not used to that. I could swing for Mega Rune Chant too. but
Actually,
that's-
I have 2 back when I played Message of Soul. I forgot about that.
I'm sorry, you do 0 for 8 damage sometimes, so.
yeah, but we have to work for it. We have to play a card
Oh
first.
wow!
You have to work for it.
Wow! And then you get this tunic that's just like, I'm gonna
Yeah.
deal 4 split damage every 3 turns.
Yeah, we have to like to do that. We have
We
to
have to
play
wait.
a card. We have to play a card that costs pitch. Like, who wants to do that? Like,
Ooh, Remembrance.
love
This is
it.
a good one. That's actually especially good after your opponent overblocks a Dawnblade.
Yep.
Yeah, that is good. You're right.
So I think
Nice little
Josh
trade.
is starting to realize like, okay, we can probably just get a strict card advantage here because the Oldhim player, once you run through most of the D reacts in the first kind of cycle, or a large portion of them, there's a lot of situations where you kind of have to overblock the Dawnblade, and if you do that, you're given extra cards, and that's usually where Oldhim starts getting in trouble. I would like to see Josh probably get back one of his twinning blades, maybe.
Yeah, that seems like an important one that he's lost the blocking.
Or CNC is a good one. Just if the go again gets denied, you have a way to present a relevant. It's all about threat density, and when I say threat density, I'm referring to the total amount of cards required from your opponent to block the total amount of attack power in your deck. And if you add Warrior's Valor, you're basically saying you got to trade me a card for that card, whereas CNC is 2 cards for 1.
Yep.
So I think that was just a strict threat density play there, where just saying, look, I need to get
further back up
value
your
cards.
play.
Yep.
Further back up, what you were saying about him switching strategies here.
Yep. All right.
Yeah, I'm not
so-
sure who mentioned getting reactions with Remembrance, but yeah, you cannot get reactions with Remembrance. They are only action cards that you can get.
Yes, because if you could get instances, technically you could do a loop.
No. He's
Remembrance is-
reactions is what he's. Yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Did one of us say that? I don't think anybody said that. I don't know.
Somebody in
It's-
chat might have.
Yeah, it's possible.
So yeah, it looks like another yep. Oldhim is not respecting the Dawnblade, so he's probably gonna pump it, but with the overpower and say, yep.
Ooh la la.
So it's like these are those situations that Josh is gonna keep putting him in to, like, if you don't respect it, you're gonna get punished, but if you respect it, I have another way to punish as well.
Overpower is such a good card for getting your
Oh,
opponent's
six
life
is
total
so
down when they
nice.
don't expect it.
Yeah, I guarantee if he would have already played that red overpower before the Remembrance, he would have grabbed that one 100%. It's just such a good card.
Well, red overpower just did 6 damage, so it's a
Yep.
good sign.
It did its job.
Now
But-
Josh is going to play a little bit of defense here.
Yep.
Now, remind me how much Disable costs. 5, correct?
Costs 5 and deals 9.
Okay, so probably just going to see a 2-card block here if I had to guess. But then again, Josh could once again make a similar play of like, you know, block 3 cards, pitch the blue, has a CNC and R, or, you know, something. Well, he couldn't do that because he would need go again. But where's Valor going?
I don't know. It was trying to get away.
Look like he's trying to eat it.
The Doge was trying to get hungry.
Get a little hungry.
Josh lining up the
Looked
2-card
like
block
the 6
here.
blocks, like you said.
Oh, unfortunately, had to
Ooh.
block by 2 good reds. Super unfortunate, but it do be like that sometimes. It do.
Oh, somebody said somebody must have said that you can get Twinning Blade back with.
Oh, I did say that. Yeah, you can. Okay, so yeah, that was on me.
Shame on you.
Yeah, I
You
should do.
salty dog.
You should know better.
I should do better.
Command and
Oh,
Conquer, a great card here, especially into the eyes of Blizzard.
Yeah, he just pitched that blue to block 2 damage.
Pretty good.
Good exchange rate.
That looks like the Oldhim player's thinking about being a little greedy. Might have this little greed monster here real quick. He takes 4 here. He goes to 19. And throws like a big spinal, has a pummel in the back or something.
Josh's life total is starting to get low. And
Yes,
he doesn't have the armor left either, so.
that is correct. But at the same time, there's a lot of things that kind of mitigate that. For example, when the deck size starts to get smaller, the Heart of Findo is going to really start putting in overtime.
Oh yeah.
And that's a very important part. And that's kind of why Josh needs to realize here, he needs to kind of like step on the brakes a little bit, because if he needs to do all his damage in one precise point. That way he has the ability to stay beneath the older player.
Oof.
Might have another pummel here.
If he pummels the CNC, he will have pummeled all 3 CNCs pretty much naturally throughout this game, which is just
Oh, good
Ooh.
call. Good call. I got nervous
I
when he
thought he
grabbed
was
it.
trying
Quick.
to play it.
Woo.
got nervous too.
Look at this.
Got him back. Got him back. Now, I tell you what.
Oh, you
guys,
pummel?
if he
might have-
pops pummels, I'm gonna lose it.
See.
I'm gonna lose it. I can't even think of a more disrespectful thing than E-pot pummel.
Especially if he puts 2 cards in front of it. Which he won't.
It's a fact.
because Rampart is a busted card. Those who also know me, ever since Rampart's been printed, I've said that card should be banned. I do not like that card.
So he took 1 off that CNC, right?
Forgot Tunic.
He did.
Ooh,
some-
Oh, that hand was
Doo-doo.
garbage.
What was this other card that you pitched? Oh, he'd used Tunic. Wow.
I tell you what, pitching 2 reds and a Tunic counter to swing 4 non-frosty is about as efficient as putting like a dehumidifier out in the rain. That is just, that is, oh, that's terrible.
What'd you say? Like leaf blow in your front yard or something? I don't know what you
No,
said.
it's like vacuuming your
Oh,
driveway, bro.
vacuum in your driveway.
Howdy, neighbor.
That'd be
Oh,
great.
My goodness. Terrible value. But you know, sometimes that's how it be. That's how it
That
be.
is how it be. All right. I think we're about due for one of those good turns.
Yeah, let's get us a good one. Okay,
Oh,
maybe
let's-
not start.
I think this is one of those.
There we go.
Anytime Josh pitches a red for Dawnblade, I'm always like, oop.
Not exactly where you want to be.
Every time he does it to me, I always say he's full of crap.
I'm sure he gives his chuckle. Oh, this is good stuff.
But that really bad hand from the Oldhim player was exactly what Josh was looking for, because now he can put on pressure and stop, because Oldhim about 2 or 3 turns in the cycles had the advantage of being able to throw 8-9 attacks and kind of
Right.
build some card advantage. But because of the brick, he now, to get back to that point, he's got to take this damage. And if you're on the fatigue plan, that's a very scary thing to do. So it kind of puts it, but I think Josh might be trying to tempt him by pitching the red, but we'll see. Anything's possible here. You can't really give too much credit to the red pitch because he's got E-pots. Like, you know, he's not gonna. All right, so we're playing or pitching. Come on, Josh. Let's. Okay, he's either gonna play it, pitch it, or equip it. It looks like. I don't know. What he's
Okay,
doing.
all right.
Yeah.
Well, instant speed. I'm gonna equip plow through from my hand to my dawn blade, and give it permanent go again for the rest of the game. Iron Song Pride.
Okay, he chose the Iron Song, which gives it the counter.
I guess he's trying to bank on Buddy not having a 4D react.
Yeah,
which,
but this just gets shut down. Well, actually, either one gets shut down, right? Because if he was to plow through, he couldn't swing again, so it didn't matter.
He's getting the sink out of the way and getting a card that's not really that good late game. I don't think Iron Song Pride is doing a ton of favors. Like,
yeah, it doesn't block, so I think he was just trying to get it out of the deck. So here's another 8. Josh has really got to break this cycle of, you know, letting Oldhim swing 8 power attacks, because that's going to eke him in the card advantage. So we might see one play where he just, you know, the choke slam says attack action, correct?
Choke slam. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Be.
So on hit does nothing except stop pummel. Okay. So this could be, if Josh is set up ready to go, this could be the turn he just drops to 9 and eats it, and then we see, you know, supremacy, a whole bunch of other stuff, and then boom, Oldham's dead or close to it. But it just depends on. I guess we are kind of worried about a pummel here. It is a possibility. Just for everybody that's joined in the past 30 minutes or so, this is the 5th match. His series is currently 2-2. Winner of this continues in the playoffs, and the loser does not. Currently, it is Joshua Lau on Dorinthea playing against, it was Andrew or Anthony?
Andrew.
Andrew on Oldhim.
I think I played against Anthony, I believe.
Right. Yep.
I believe this is Andrew Rudin. Oof.
Yep.
Oof, that's a lot. That's a lot of health.
Yep. Dropping to 5, losing the card, and I think actually the card is more impactful than the 4 life for sure, because it seemed like Josh was ready to do his combo. But I guess he combo really doesn't need CNC, so
CNC might have been like a backup.
Right.
Like the go again doesn't get through. Okay, I'll hit you with EPOT CNC.
Yeah, I would love a supremacy from Arsenal here, and then the old special is Josh likes to pop the E-Pot, play Supremacy, swing Dawnblade, and then you have no information.
Yep.
And you got 5 draw a card on hit coming at you hot, and it's just the scariest shit ever. Or even worse, you got that coming at you. So like you got like no information.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
anything
Big old
in the world
chunky
is
Dawnblade.
possible here. Yep. So this is Josh basically saying, look, I'm tired of your 8 attacks. You're not going to do that for quite some time. So if Oldhim does not have a D react here, it gets so bad so quick. All right, so we ruled out Staunch. Cannot play Staunch. So now he's just worried about 0 for 4 D reacts, which Josh is going to look through the graveyard and get a count, I'm sure.
I believe he's played all 3 syncs. And I don't think we've seen any of Fates or anything like that, just the red Staunch, right?
Okay. Yep, Josh is doing a count currently and getting a count on those 0 for 4 D reacts. So Josh, obviously with 2 cards and an E-Pot, has multiple things he can do here. In Arsenal, I would probably say he has a Stinging Steelblade, because Josh really likes to lean on that card in these heavy turn situations, because like I said, if they overblock by something you can't get over, then you have the option to go around with Twinning Blade.
Right.
But you can't in this situation because he does not have guaranteed go again. So he really just needs to get over, and he kind of knows that.
Yeah, if he can get over here, he'll have card draw plus E-Pot, so he can kind of go pretty big here, and his opponent only has 1 card left in hand, so. Trying to find these turns when the Oldhim player does not have an arsenal is quite tough.
Yeah, it's huge that Oldhim didn't have an arsenal there.
Yep.
It was huge. Yep, just like I said, Stinging Steelblade and Arsenal, because it gives him the option and the flexibility. So we could see if he has one left, I would really like an Out for Blood here, because it'll give the bonus on the second swing. So
Right.
it'll come in for 6. Because those of you who don't know, Supremacy lasts the entire turn, and he will also be able to bracers if that's the case. But it is kind of weird that the Oldhim player just blocked face value, because like with E-Pot and 2 cards in hand, like there's not a scenario where he can't pump it by at least 3. So very interested in what the last card in Oldhim's hand is for sure.
It could be a situation where the Oldhim is thinking, okay, if I block with 3 cards here, make Josh have it, right? And then try to get back on a turn cycle where you have an arsenal again. He might just be trying, because if you get off the arsenal and then stay off the arsenal, that's when Josh can keep rolling into you.
Yep, and there's the Out for Blood that I mentioned. The reason he picked that one is it gives +1 to the next one. So he is at a total of 8 + 3. That'll be 11 + 1 is 12 against 9. So he's over by 3. He'll trigger the on-hit go again. He'll trigger the draw. And now he has multiple options. He's going to swing for 6, but he could pump with bracers, which because he found the blue, he more than likely will. So this will make the Dawnblade come in for 7, which because the Oldhim player only has 1 card in hand,
Well, the
it is very likely.
Well, the
that it
Steelblade's
hits.
gonna pump it to 5, right? And then the Out for Blood gives it just +1 for the reprise. Okay, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So we got a
So-
7 power Dawnblade.
7 power Dawnblade, which with 1 card in hand, it's impossible to block unless it was a 0 for 4 D react. Even then, you can only block 6. So
And he
Yep,
would
this
have
is-
used that on the last attack to shut it down.
exactly. So this is guaranteed to hit, which means Josh will draw another card, and if he has a pump in his hand, that's even more value you get in the turn.
Yeah, so if he can pump here, put it up to like 10, put his opponent sub 10 life, draw a card, put a card in arsenal. That's a lot of value.
Yep. And just to keep in mind, Josh did this with a 4-card hand.
Those E-Pots putting in work.
That is the power of E-pots. So many players, when they first get into Flesh and Blood, they under-respect the value from mechanics that allow you to stack into certain turns, and like potions are included in that. And if you utilize them correctly and they apply to your game plan that you were playing in that
Ooh.
matchup, oh, this is
Oh.
just
Oh
God.
my! Oh, that's so good.
Oh, he's gonna
That's
pop
so
bolters here, and it's
good.
another 7. Guys, I think we're gonna make it in the playoffs. I think we because
And the Dawnblade gets the counter.
so
Oh wow!
the biggest thing here, yeah, the counter happens, so it's another swing for 7 because Out for Blood carries, I believe, for the
Bracers
turn.
just once per turn, right?
I think,
Correct.
Your next
is
weapon
Alpha- I
attack
don't, I,
gains.
think, I don't know if Out for Blood carries for the turn. I don't.
Okay, it's just the next attack. Okay.
Yeah.
So
But-
that is nuts. So now this is another 7.
6.
So it's gonna even the life up. But the reason why Josh is
Should be 6, right?
Just 6. Just
yeah, unless they're gonna count the okay, he's just got the 6.
Yeah, 5
I was
plus the
reading,
1. Yeah.
yeah, I was reading the 6 and the 1, but the 1's just the Dawnblade counter. Yeah, that clears it up. Okay, so it's coming in for 6, and what's gonna happen is it's gonna tie up the life total, and the problem that the Oldhim player is in now, and why this is like an 80-20 in Josh's favor now, is because he now has to start overblocking Dawnblades.
Yep.
Which, no matter which direction the Oldhim player takes, like, oh, do I want to still be on the fatigue plan? Do I still want to put on pressure? Whatever the case may be,
oh
it's-
wow! Okay.
it's going to be a losing strategy because he has to over respect the Dawnblades from now on.
Swinging
so-
for 4 every turn now as well. Like he's got a choice at Arsenal here.
Yeah,
This-
it's just
this is
yeah,
so
it's yeah. So like, because he had the option of 2 cards, there's no way he's like gonna arsenal a crappy blue. So,
Right. And now
It's just,
Oldham's off of an arsenal. Dawnblade has a counter, and Josh has a 5-card hand.
Yep, full tempo, everything you could ask for. So that twinning blade at the end.
And the
like,
Oldhim did just skip his tunic.
Yep. So the Oldhim player like was in an okay spot, but once I saw the twinning blade, it just changed everything. That was
Also,
such a-
Josh is just, I think he's 2 cards behind on deck total. So if he can just keep tempo here, regardless of whether the Oldhim just keeps blocking, he'll run out of cards very quickly.
Right.
Well played. That turn was insane.
Look at that. Those 9 likes turned into 22. Thanks a lot, guys. This is a
Yeah.
pretty good little stream tonight. What a match.
Thanks for mentioning that, Will. Thank you guys so much for checking out the stream tonight. We really are having a blast. This match is, we always love casting Josh's story matches. They're just the best. I know you guys love watching them as well. If you haven't already, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you aren't already. We really appreciate you guys. So let's keep watching this match. This is a good one. What up, Pudding? Pudding in the chat.
Hell yeah.
Funny thing about Twinning Blade, when that card first came out, my little newbie brain looked at that card and said, "There's no way this card's good." And then but it's such a, you have to know everything about how to like play with that card to make it really show its power.
Oh, totally. It's funny because I thought I had just solved the Dory puzzle back when I learned I'll just overblock when I need to, and then
Is that a
Twinning Blade
biting
comes and
blade?
just- oh my!
Okay. So just so everybody knows, the reason Josh likes biting blade
Oh my
It
god!
is it's the
It's
only
because of this
pump-
right here.
Yeah, it pumps it by 4 because it's basically like Out for Blood, but like it applies on the swing you're swinging on. And this is just
Hold
huge.
up, how
It's-
big is this Dawnblade?
It's
So whenever
4
it
plus
hits, it gets
4
a
plus
plus
3.
1. So 4. Oh my gosh!
11.
he's-
and
11
Yeah.
power.
11
blocked
to
for-
10.
he
So he's
blocked
over
for
by
10.
exactly 1, which is the reason he plays.
And he's gonna get the
Biting
counter
Blade.
from Glistening Steel Blade.
And he's gonna swing
no.
again. And he's gonna swing again.
no.
Wait, how
And
does
if-
he have go again? Oh, the glistening
Listening.
steel blade gives
Listening
him
gives
again.
go again.
Oh my goodness.
So he'll swing again, and the biting blade persists through the entire turn. So this next swing will be for 6, and if it hits, Dawnblade gets 2
Oh
counters.
no, not like
That's-
this,
yeah.
Josh.
Oh, man.
How do you stop this Dawnblade with one card in hand?
Oh,
You
he's
don't.
absolutely
That's
screwed.
the
He's-
question. Yeah.
Josh is just El Maestro, man. Like, what a Dory player.
Yeah. Putting on a clinic.
So this Dawnblade's gonna have 4 counters
Coming
on it
in
at the end of the
for
turn.
6?
Yeah.
Oh my
It's
God.
gonna come in for 7 naked.
Yeah.
Oh my, what a Dawn Blade.
You guys complain about rune blades, but yet he's over here swinging for 7 on 1 resource. Come on now.
he had to work for it.
Yeah. He only had to pitch stack it. No big deal.
Wow. I'm not going to lie. I was a little nervous for a bit there, but Josh just said, no, this is my game. 2
Yeah.
energy potions said,
Yeah.
that says so.
I've seen this so many times that now I just expect it from Josh. It's like if he doesn't do it, it's just like, are you feeling okay? You know? Like I just
Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. Let's have. I want to get some chat interaction here.
Yep.
Before 2 turns ago, push 1 in the chat if you thought Josh was losing this game.
Oh, let me put a 1.
Yeah,
in chat.
for real.
Yeah.
2 turns
I'll
ago.
throw my 1 in the chat. 2 turns
Yeah.
ago, who thought Josh was losing?
Yeah.
If you thought Josh was losing 2 turns ago, put a 1 in the chat.
If you thought he was going to pull it out like he is now, put a 2.
Well,
but
it's not over.
My
He can
goodness.
definitely still lose, but like let's
You're right.
don't,
It's not
don't count,
over. It's
don't
not
count
over.
any chickens before they hatch, but it's definitely turned around.
I think Dawnblade for 7 wins here. I mean, I don't I'm no scientist, but I think that's a big number.
Well, because the real like thing here, right, is Oldhim is never going to have an arsenal ever again, and they cannot. He's not going to be able to do anything ever again, even if he fully blocks.
Right.
Like, I mean, he could go to 1 here, right, and have an arsenal,
Oh yeah.
but
But then you're just dead. Like you literally get shunted to death. You basically all Josh has to do is just keep swinging naked Dawnblades, and then the next time you hammer, shunt, you're dead.
Oh yeah, Steel Blade shunt. How much shunt value have we had this game? I think like 2, maybe 3.
Only 2 on a weapon.
Okay.
oh my gosh, the biting blade still.
Yeah, it's disgusting, man. So we got Dawnblade rocking 7 attack right now. Josh is gonna have a 4-card hand with his opponent on 4. So yeah, at least Oldham's got the tunic counter for whatever that's worth.
If he draws a Red Warrior's Valor here, the game's over.
I think if he draws anything other than like just a
Like
handful of zebra cakes, he's pretty good. He's pretty good.
Zebra cake.
The occasional zebra cake.
Yeah, but you don't want 4 of them in your hand.
That's a little too much. It's like you get diabetes, you know.
Yeah.
That's asking for the diabetes.
Chat, you ever just drew a handful of zebra cakes? All you Runeblade players know exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh man, Dawn Blade with 4 counters. You know, it's that biting blade. I think that is one of Josh's pet cards, and it's lovely to see it just shine there. Like, that was a biting blade for 5 value, right? Because 3 and then +1 and then +1.
Shout out to Uber. This is a banger for sure.
This is a good one.
Zebra cake not making it through deck registration.
Great.
I don't know. I've seen somebody get Oldhim specializations in their Bravo deck through deck
God.
registration before. So
This is
Dawnblade for 9.
9 with guaranteed go again.
this
So he
stuff.
could just sling a CNC out of it, even if it doesn't.
Yeah, Josh over here repping the big blade energy for sure. Just
This is looking
killing
like
it.
a potential route for win kind of game. We'll see.
The
gonna go-
question is, do we get the stat track?
Does he put it on the card for TTS?
That's the
This is a
question.
competitive
Oh
match.
no!
I like to do it.
Yeah, the route is still there, isn't it? Oh my goodness!
Can he put the stat track on his TTS mats? We got to make a mod. Get that.
Their team
get that
name may
going.
be the Experience, but we have the Warrior Experience on our team.
Right.
So
Josh is our gladiator.
we call him the Anchor for a reason. Big Blade Energy, BBE.
I love
Yeah.
that.
If his opponent put like overblocks here and then he has the other twinning, that would just be icing on the cake.
Yep.
I believe a wise man once said, "What would Dawnblade do?"
So assuming all things consistent, Oldhim has 4 3-block cards in his hand. How do you block this?
Well, so like the only thing you can do is lay your entire hand down, and then you just look up to the sky,
You pray.
and you just give it all you got, because there is no other line here. It's either you lay it all down or you die. that is it.
Not much.
And then you just lose to a twinning blade, and that's just like a fact. Like there's no like congratulations.
Oh, he has
Blocking for
he has
4?
the staunch response.
He's got the staunch. You're right.
But if he had the then why did he tunic?
For the shield, I would think.
He tunicked for the shield.
You
Yeah.
got to do 2 blues for staunch.
but if
if you're gonna-
He might have a yellow in hand. We don't know yet.
Oh yeah, he could double blue the staunch. That's fair.
And then he can double blue the staunch, which is 10, 13, 14
blocking
block.
14. Blocking 14 to this 9. Okay.
And if Twinning Blade comes out of Josh's hand here, he's gonna vomit.
I don't think
Oh,
Josh
come
has
on,
another. I
baby.
don't think he has another twinning blade. He blocked with 2 and played 1, so I
Okay.
think he's fresh out of those. But maybe he can muster up enough big blade energy to get over this 14. He only needs 6 more. So
yeah, route the staunch.
oh, that would be Oh, that would be the
Oh,
best.
that'd be
stat
so
track
good.
ever. Oh my
You'd
God.
have to put 2 marks on it for
Oh,
that.
that'd be the best game ever if he routed the big ass staunch. That would be okay. That would be insane. So clearly he's gonna flash in Lumina Ascension here. That's just the most straightforward play. No, I'm just kidding. But
And
I
then
mean,
attack with the
Josh,
Centauri Saber.
yeah, definitely like here, Josh. I mean, Josh knows his deck good enough, and he's not the one searching his deck, so I think there's no way Josh gets over here, or he would have very quickly calculated it. But that's still okay, because the deck count is the Oldhim player's 23 cards, while Josh has about 23 cards. But because the Oldhim player has 0 tempo and at 4 life, he's gonna have to overblock the crap out of these Dawn Blades, and that's how Josh is going to win this game, via cards, not damage.
And that's at least 2 red staunches gone, so there might be 1 left, right? Or have we seen all 3?
I know we've seen 2. I'm not
Pretty sure
sure
we've
about
only
the
seen 2.
third.
Yeah, I
Are
think
we-
it's only been 2.
Yeah, and we're not allowed to right click and search because we're
Right.
gray.
Pitching
Okay.
Glint here means he's got the run through, right?
And that means he's got to go again. You
Or
just gotta-
Twinning Blade or something.
Yeah, it could be run through or another glint. I think he hasn't played. He's only played 1 glint, so it's actually
Yeah.
very likely it's another glint.
That's true.
And
We're just
with
on
the-
eat card duty at this point, right?
Right, yeah, he's just trying to get cards from Oldhim at an effective price.
This is the 3rd staunch if I've ever seen it, right?
It has to be, yeah, because there's no way you're pitching that. But he knows that.
Puncture is
Oh,
great
yeah.
here.
Not bad here. Not
Yeah.
bad at all.
For those that don't know, that turns into a 1 for 4 against a Rampart.
Oasis and Oldhim.
Oasis? What?
Oasis and Oldhim.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
It's a weird one.
So he hasn't played his Go Again yet, dude. He still has 1 Singing Steelblade left, right?
Singing. He blocked with one.
No, he
or no,
played at
played,
least
he
one.
played two. He played
Played
two.
two. I
He
don't think
didn't
he's
block
blocked
for
with one.
No, he hasn't. Oh, let's go.
Oh,
I
lovely.
vote. Well, I mean that only stops two, so it
That's
knocks
true,
it
but it's a
down
plus
Well,
three.
it's a
to-
plus. It's
Five.
a plus 5, which is lethal.
That's a great point.
So if he doesn't have another react, that should be game over.
Does that do anything?
What's he pitching for?
Ice react for no reason.
I
He
think
could be.
might
He could be
dead.
pitching for
Is
his
that wrap
films.
for
though.
game?
Does he have a D react? No.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
okay.
it.
Okay. It's
Wrap
game.
for
That's
game!
it.
Wrap for game!
Let's go! Put it on
Let's
the stat
go.
track. Let's go.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
Never doubted him for a minute, except for the first 30. But he got there. He got there.
We took 13 off of a pummeled disable or whatever.
Yep.
What a fucking match! That was a banger. Like
No,
that should
that
be
was-
taught in schools.
That's, yeah, it should be taught in FAB
Hey, in
201.
history class.
Yeah.
Fab 101, baby. Come sign up on the Flesh and Blood Patreon, supported by TheCardGuyz. You guys
That's
are
it.
missing out if you're not learning from Josh.
That's right. If you guys want to learn how to do that, click the subscribe button, click the like button, go to our videos, look at FAB 201, and Josh will tell you everything that he knows, and he will literally just lay it out for you. Such a valuable resource for players getting into the game. Josh is just, he is a teacher, as his profession used to be. So he's just got a real natural talent at explaining things in a way that everybody can understand them.
Mm-hmm.
Just so good at teaching people Flesh and Blood on a fundamental basis level.
Well, that's the end of tonight's stream, guys. I believe
gonna
we
talk
might
to
get
Josh
in.
first,
Yeah, we're
or
gonna
not?
we're,
I think
we're gonna
we're gonna
get
have Josh
Josh
in
in
for a
here
little bit,
for a minute. But before we do that, please make sure you guys are subscribed and check out all of our links in the description. We're gonna get Josh in here to talk about that game for a minute because I know you guys want to hear from him after that.
Shout out to the experience, by the way. Those were
Oh,
5
absolutely. That was-
insane matches.
Oh, for real. What a banger of a series.
Yeah.
Welcome, Josh. We may be hoarse after screaming so much at the end of that match.
Yeah.
Good game, brother.
Dive in for us. Dive in.
Well, my opponent is one of the strongest Oldhims I've played against. Not only did he know how to pilot his deck, he knew how to interact in this matchup properly. So for when he flipped his equipment, I checked his deck size. It was like 69, I think. And I was playing 73. So I was like, all right, this is going to be a very long match. So I know my opponent was very, very strong. He's like 1700 elo, right? So so when you play against a strong opponent, you got to get a read on how they like to play. And so I noticed very quickly he wasn't attacking me with the weapon unless he had. So one of the very first few turns, he crowned on his own turn and then hit me with his weapon. I'm like, uh-oh, this guy knows what he's doing. So I was like, all right, so I can't rely on my 9 shunts to deal 9 damage here. And I had my Arsenal card was a red shunt for quite a while. Eventually I was like, you know what, this guy, I gave him like 5-6 turns to attack me with a weapon. He didn't. I'm like, all right, let's get this out of here. Just use it on one of his 9 power attacks, and let's get some good cards into Arsenal. Let's set up a big turn. And that game came down to, I looked at my deck very carefully. I had 1 Singing Steel Blade left, 1 Twinning Blade left, and I knew I had to put those 2 together. And so on the very, very large turn that I pulled off, I actually had a pitch problem, and he pummeled me, right? So I lost a card, even though that was just a CNC, right? So it didn't matter much. But in order to pull off that big turn, I had to have enough energy to do it, which means I knew I had to set up 2 energy potions. So basically, I set up that triple hit combo like midway through the game. I was like, all right, got to get 2 E-Pots out. You saw me pitch the Twinning Blade, pitch the Singing Steel Blade back into the deck, and wait for supremacy, and then try to pull off a really really big turn. I think maybe the Singing Steelblade was an arsenal. I can't remember, but I basically put Singing Steelblade in the arsenal and kind of waited until I came back to the cycle.
Right.
And when I talk about a lot how like against Guardians you have to have a triple hit combo. That's normally really difficult to do without Courage of Bladehold. So the potions kind of acted as Courage of Bladehold, and so I went for that. Got a huge turn off. You notice my life didn't move from 5 once I dropped down to 5. I was like, they were stopping here.
It was so good.
One of the really, really interesting things is that I knew I pitched my route somewhere, but I wasn't sure if it was on the top or it was like 2 cards down. And I had Glint in hand. And when he staunched for 10, paying into it, I was like, oh, I could Glint and draw a route. Oh, I could Glint and draw a route. Crazy.
We were hoping for the route.
And I was like, but I'm not sure if it's on the top or not. I was like, it's coming up very soon, but I wasn't exactly sure the position. So I was like, all right, we'll make the discipline play. I get my new hand, top card, shunt. Next card is route. So I was like, okay.
Ooh, good call.
I was like, okay. Well, so and then I was able to use the route for the next one as well.
I love that route was lethal. So spicy.
Yeah. That matchup, very, very important in general to get as much damage as you can with your attack reacts. It was really a fine line between taking damage and using my attack reacts and blocking, because it's an interesting interaction between 3 resources, right? Your health is a resource. My attack reacts are a precious resource because I can't remembrance them back. And then the other resources like, tempo or, being able to close the game. And, if you have to kind of interact between, like if you block, you're, saving your life, but if I block with Out for Blood or Stroke of Foresight or Iron Song Response, I'm not dealing damage, right? So, yeah. So my opponent also, when we were in the middle of the game, I kind of figured out, okay, he's on probably 2 staunch, 3 sink. And then as soon as I saw 3 sink, I was like, okay. That was another requirement for my triple hit turn, is I had to I wasn't sure where his second staunch was, but I was like, well, if he has a staunch, I can't do anything about it. If he staunches my big turn, the game's over. But I just had to take that risk. But yeah, I think overall my opponent played really, really well. Very, very pleasant fellow. And yeah, I think there's a lot that I'm going to go back and look at that game, because I think there's a lot to learn. And I think my opponent played it pretty well as well. Yeah, I think I only got like 3 or 4 damage off the shunts, and he was throwing giant attacks at me, because I knew I couldn't just maintain the status quo, because if we go to ultra late game, he has things like Terra Sunder, Glacial Footsteps, Choke Slam. Like his blues are good, whereas my blues are like, my best blue is Blue Overpower, right? So yeah, I think that was really, really, I'm actually mentally drained, because that was like any match against Oldhim is really, really tough. And when your opponent is like, knows how to play the matchup, I'm like, shit. Yeah. This guy's like, he's not giving me shunt damage. I'm going to have to really set up a big turn. And yeah.
That was an excellent game of Flesh and Blood. I think you said 3 or 4. I think you got 2 or 3 shunt.
It wasn't much damage. We were talking a little bit after the game. He was like, yeah, I wouldn't attack without crown up. So I was like, all right.
It was a good.
It makes sense.
Good match.
Maybe a possible Fab 201 episode.
Could be. You never know. Yeah, that was a very, very, very interesting match, actually. Yeah.
Well, Josh, I never doubted you for a second, except for probably the first 15-20 minutes. But after that, I believed in you.
Where's that one in chat? Hold on. Let me go back up. Nathan Crow.
So what made the game look like it was out of control?
The pummel CNCs kind of got me like I've watched you do what you did probably 50 to 100 times. I mean, it's just it's nothing new. But the pummel CNCs, I've never seen you get hit by 2 of them.
Yeah,
and
recover from that.
Yeah, and so like I was like, especially when I saw the Supremacy get blown up out of Arsenal, I was like, okay, he's got more, but like now it's gonna take longer to get to the turn. Yes, and I was like, exactly. I don't know if maybe all the Oldhim player has to do is get lucky and throw like a spinal on the turn that you're trying to do whatever you're trying to do, and it can just force you to block with cards that you can't afford to block with. And I knew that, and I was like, this could get hairy really quick, but you stuck in there, you knew how to win, you knew what you had, and you stuck to the game plan.
Yep. That's a matchup where there's no room for error, and normally getting CNC pummeled twice is a death sentence, but I think in general as Dorinthea, if you can, you just need one big turn, right? And you only need one copy of your win cons. That's why I talked when this interview started. What was the first thing I talked about? I was like, I had to preserve my Twinning Blade and my Singing Steel Blade, because if I lose all 3 copies of those, I lose the game. There's no other card in my deck that allows me to hit 3 times, right? So
tell me, did you draw into Twinning off of Singing, or did you have it in Arsenal or hand there?
I had Singing in Arsenal. I had Twinning in my hand. I had Twinning, Warriors Valor, Supremacy, CNC as my hand. And
that's the nuts.
I want to talk about 2 cards in particular that I think really won me. There was actually a critical turn where Biting Blade won me the game, where I went 11 over his 10, and
that was
no other card could have did that. Biting Blade, I think, is a very, very nice card in matchups where you think you're going to get reprised. And the other one is Puncture. So there were several instances where I had the opportunity. I noticed he wasn't blocking with his shield much. So I was like, all right, so how am I going to get value out of these punctures? I was like, all right, let's kind of put them to the bottom. Let's save them for later. If we ever get into like a fatigue style, he's going to be crowning and using his Ram's Head, right, to block for 2 for free. So that's when I can get value from Puncture. Like Puncture and Biting Blade, those are cards that can throw off players because they come in for awkward numbers. And I think they're really, really critical in this matchup in particular. Overall, that was a fun game. Very, very mentally draining though. Like, yeah.
Well, I think he earned a siesta after that one. That was a great game. We always love watching it, no matter how many times we get to see that kind of match. So, thank you for that.
Yep. All right. Well, I guess with that, we secure the win 3-2. And
Blue Pitch, we're coming for you.
We play Blue Pitch next, right?
Blue Pitch, we're coming for you.
Oh wow.
Yeah. We're supposed to have show matches with them every set. This time,
it's just going to be an official show match.
Yeah, an official show match. That'll be great fun. Blue Pitch, excellent guys. I love every single one of those guys. And yeah, I think they're probably one of the strongest teams in the league. So that will be one for the ages, and one you guys will definitely not want to miss. We'll try to set up a full 5-person stream. I'm sure they would love to set up a full 5-person stream as well. So that'll be really, really fun.
They're also gunning for their revenge because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the last
we decimated them last time.
we got the W last time. So
yeah, they whooped us in Blitz, but we got there in CC. So here we go.
Here we go again.
Yeah.
If we beat them this time, we have to assert ourselves as best CC players.
Yeah, I guess so. There we go. All right.
Well, I think that's going to do it for
watching. Kyle, you want to close us?
Brother, this was crazy. I didn't get to talk much. I was sitting here in the background just sipping my water, just butt puckered. This was crazy. That was a crazy last match. Good Lord. Thank you guys for chilling with us. I think we peaked at like almost 70 concurrent viewers, so that's awesome. If you enjoyed this style of content, subscribe, because we plan on doing more of these for the rest of the FAB Team Cup if it allows for us to do so. And Josh, you're crazy,
man. The quarterfinals from here? Or
yeah, we are top 8.
Yep.
Top 8. Yep.
We're in the quarterfinals now. And
awesome.
we're gonna keep on trying to entertain you guys. I know you guys enjoy watching some high-level FAB. And yeah.
Shutting the stream off now. Pudding, we're coming for you.
Oh, man.
All right, good.